Yeah, welcome to the presentation of the Nambo Vocabulary App by myself, John Bimi. It's a pleasure having you on board to listen to this concept. So, this Nambo app was built with persons in mind like Steve Daniels. Steve Daniels is a 35-year-old Frenchman living in and working in Germany as a web developer with a German company. He's married with children, and Steve is a very busy person who works an 8 to 5 job. Very busy, but he has issues with communicating in the German language, especially in his use of articles and nouns. And what is his goals? The goals and motivation of Steve to learn the German language is he wants to improve his knowledge and understanding and use of German language articles and nouns. He also wishes to improve his communication in the German language with his colleagues and others. He is also interested in speaking with confidence and being fluent. So, the problem brief here, the problem we are trying to solve using the Nambo app is to enable guys like Steve to use articles and nouns in the German language properly or correctly. This because there is this problem that they are unable to express themselves or using nouns and articles improperly. It makes them feel so less confident to converse with their colleagues and even with others in the street. And so this is a problem that affects the many people integrating into the German society. Then, as a problem statement, Steve needs a way to stay motivated. For him to stay motivated and not get bored when he's learning the articles and nouns. And we will know that this is true when we see that we have developed or created a fun, exciting, interacting, and engaging or entertaining learning experience that motivates and arouses Steve's interest, that allows him to stay focused on his goals, which he has indicated that he wants to speak confidently and fluently and use the articles and nouns in the German language properly in the correct context. The challenges he faces are like we have already mentioned, using the right articles and nouns when communicating in the German language. This enables him to, this makes him not fluent, not confident when speaking with his colleagues in German. Then, as a quote here, Steve needs a vocabulary training app with visuals and audio exercises that will ease the learning and understanding of the German language articles, die, der, and das, that is paired with nouns. And so this improves his communication at work with colleagues and integration into the German society as he speaks fluently with others. So, sorry about that. So, with this concept, there were early prototypes that were developed by the Nambo group. And we can see here that the first line of prototypes or of wireframes or prototypes were involved. The task here was just to assist login, sign up, onboarding, and to log out to see if that was possible. And the second line of prototypes involves signing in, being on the on the home page, and being able to choose a learning a level, study level, and then learning the grammar exercise, doing grammar exercises like nouns and articles. We can see here that the essence was there were some examples of nouns and article with used with articles. As you can see here, the flashcard here with the possibility of flipping. We have a possibility of also hearing the sound bite of each word, and possibility of adding to favorites. And when the card is flipped, you can see how it is used in a sentence, and where you can track your score when an exercise is done. So there were some lapses. This wasn't so good enough, and that was the main reason uh, testing was required. And when testing was done to understand if the concept was working. So the first task was to facilitate signing up, was to see if users were able to sign up on board, log out, and log in. That was done with smooth, it was effortless, but there was a recommendation that there is also a possibility a user would like to use as a guest. So that was a recommendation that was included, and we'll see it in the subsequent improvements. The second task was to select users were tasked with selecting a level to learn some grammar vocabulary, and that was done, but there was an issue with choosing the level. Choosing the level was difficult as users could not identify where they had to click to choose a level. Then review of vocabulary and your list of favorites was the third task, where recommendations were made that it was possible, but it was interesting if the review button was included on every exercise, was made active on every exercise page of the screen where exercises were done. Um, the fourth task was to play a test game, where that was done, but there was recommendation that there should be. It would be cool if there is a page that displayed results or showed progress levels, or a message to congratulate a user when he or she has done an exercise correctly. And here are the improved prototypes, where we could see here that with based on the recommendation on the splash screen, the get started function was included in the prototypes. Login and log out was also maintained with the as well as the onboarding process. And on the home page, as we can see on the home page, making choosing the level was facilitated by putting in this button, and logging out was through the hamburger menu, where you landed on this page and then you are able to log out. Then choosing a level, like I earlier mentioned, when you click on this button here, you are able to see whether you choose whether to beginner, intermediate, or advanced level. And when that is done, you are free now to choose your topic, where in this case I was testing grammar, nouns, and articles. When you click on grammar, you land on this page where you can choose nouns and articles, and then it opens up a noun with the visuals and with the audio function. Possibilities of flipping the card were there, adding to favorites were also is also possible. And when you flip, this shows you the back of the card with sentences in German and translated into English. When you flip, it takes you back to the front page, and so on. You also do the same with the second noun, Baum, that is a tree, and so on. So other improvements were at the level of playing a test game. It was made possible where from the home page or any of the pages with the game icon, when you click on the game icon, you were able to choose the test whether you want to play flashcards or listening game of listening or speaking. But in this case, I was doing a test here where it takes you directly to the test. If you click the right answer, you you see here the right answer. You can go to the next. If it is the wrong answer, you're asked to try again. And before going to the next, you'll see you are doing a great job. Congratulatory message came up before you go to the next, and so on. Then at the level of favorites and progress levels, on the home page, you could click on this favorite button, and it takes you to this page where you can as well filter your favorite words to give you in topics if you have so many words. And to get your progress level, you click on this progress level button, and then it lands you on this page telling you, informing you on the number of lessons completed, games you've played, number of points you've scored, exercises completed, and the number of exercises you've completed. And it encourages you to complete a lesson daily to earn a badge. So that was just in a nutshell the improvements that were made, and more to come. The next upgrade will be adding more games, adding more exercises, improving on how to track progress, adding a notification function that notifies the user um, on the chosen goal per day if the user doesn't study on a day. And there were so many lessons I learned, for example, like sketching your wireframes prior to getting on a digital software, getting forgetting a simple button as back button can hamper or interrupt the user flow. Now, flat navigations are easier and cool to use. Visuals they entice a user. Always putting yourself in the mind of the user is key. And clarity is also very important in terms of themes, and the structure of the process. So, thank you very much for listening.